On this episode of How to Do Florida, we're headed to Florida Caverns State Park, and we're going to show you how to do hiking Florida style.
I just feel better being out here, you know?
Nature will do that for you.
And Chef Justin's going to rock your taste buds with a recipe for garlic roasted peel and eat rock shrimp.
You guys got to smell this, huh?
Got started.
And then we're headed to the sport fishing capital of the world on the hunt for a dinosaur of the deep.
He's undoing everything I just done. Scott, he's going under the boat. He's going under the boat.
So sit back
That's a bat.
as we show you how to do Florida.
Hey, today on the show, we're gonna show you how to do Florida trails.
One of the most intimate activities one can do to really get to know the history of Florida and become one with nature is hike its natural environments. Welcome to the Florida Caverns State Park in Marianna, Florida. Florida Caverns State Park is about 4 hours from Jacksonville and about an hour and a half from Tallahassee. Today I'm here with hiking enthusiast Sandra Friend. With over 2,500 miles on foot, she's written 10 books on hiking in Florida and is a member of the board of directors of Friends of Florida State Parks.
Got us a serious author here. So, Sandra, why is now a good time to be back here hiking?
Look at the distance you can see in here. You come here in April, May, you're not going to be able to see very far because of all the vegetation. Basically, October from April is the time in Florida to hike, but when you want to get outside and really enjoy it, February, March is just awesome because all the spring flowers are coming up.
I find myself talking very soft in here because
You'll do that in the woods.
It's so peaceful, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, let's move on up here.
Only hiking can offer that interactive, up-close, and personal experience with Florida's unique landscape.
All right, Sandra, wait up now. You're getting ahead of me.
We've got some pretty amazing landscapes here in Florida. Most people say, oh, we don't have mountains. But I'll tell you what, the diversity of terrain, botanical wonders, something else.
Yeah, it's pretty spectacular. Wow.
Step lightly.
I mean, this is not that far down, but this is a pretty big deal for Florida.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is a Florida mountain,
Yeah.
right?
At
Man,
least a Florida cliff.
I just feel better being out here, you know? Wow.
Nature will do that for you.
Even before the European settlers first arrived, the indigenous Native Americans hiked through Florida's lush terrain. They had their tools for exploring, and we have ours.
There are some things that are absolute essentials that you should carry, and that's why I carry a day pack, just so I don't have to shove this all in my pockets. Water, of course.
Water is an essential.
Bug spray, which I don't always carry in my pack, but I put on before I leave. And sunscreen.
Bug spray. Sunscreen.
In Florida, you just can't do without it. You want to have a map of the trail, so you have somewhat of a clue of where you're going
Okay.
and where you're going to get back out. And I carry with it a GPS that kind of keeps track of where I'm going. Always carry food,
Always.
some kind of snack.
There's the food. Do you have a sandwich in there?
Nah, not today. This is a short hike.
What else you got in there?
Well, I've got a whistle for emergencies.
I love whistles.
This is not an emergency.
All right. I like.
Peace in the forest, please.
Okay.
Then, because you never know how the weather's going to change in Florida,
Okay.
rain jacket, first aid kit, which I like to customize for your, my needs. And if you're going on a slightly longer walk, something to do your business in the woods.
TP. So you want to be prepared out here in case nature calls.
And be sure to tell a family member or friend where you're going and when you expect to be back, so they can send help if you don't come back.
This is quite the show back here.
And like the early settlers and natives, a good walking stick, well, it's a must.
This is the wood spirit. You know, this is a nice stick. I kind of go crazy with sticks. Waha! You know, these woods remind me of the movie Rambo, one of my favorite movies. You want to play Rambo?
Not
I'll
really.
be Rambo and I'm like hunting you?
Not really.
Okay, maybe later.
I come here for tranquility.
Come on, Sandra. Oh, Sandra, what is this?
This
This is
is one of
spectacular.
the coolest geological features you'll find on the Florida Trail. This is the only place in Florida where you can take a hike through a cave.
So we're going in there.
Oh, heck yeah. Let's do it.
All right, girl, I'm right behind you. Sandra, what is that noise?
That's a bat.
That's a bat? Seriously, you brought me to a bat cave.
There's nurseries of bats here in Florida Caverns State Park. This one's probably a loner.
So they're not gonna lay eggs in my hair?
I don't think so, but you should have brought your hat.
Wow.
Dude, these rocks are just awesome.
You see anything in my hair? Sandra, watch this. Hiking Heisman. You watching? You're not even watching. Wait up.
Hiking can be both adventurous and relaxing, but no visit to Florida Caverns State Park is complete without checking out the only state's caves open to the public.
Kelly, I'm so ready to go spelunking. Okay, I'm ready.
You're a little overdressed. It's not that kind of cave.
What are you talking about? I'm all spunked out. I can't go spelunking in here.
Well, you can just walk there. You don't actually have to crawl.
This is Kelly, a cavern guide, and believe me, Kelly knows her caves.
You scared of the dark?
We are going to take a casual stroll through a very amazing cave. Follow me. Or actually follow Kelly, because I'll follow Kelly.
Follow me.
Can I touch it?
No, you can't touch anything. Take nothing but pictures. Watch your head.
Wow. This is pretty spectacular.
And they named this room the wedding room because of this formation that resembles a wedding cake.
Wow.
I'm glad you wore a helmet.
I am glad I wore it. See, I'm very big on safety. So what are all these, right? What are we looking at here, Kelly?
This is my favorite room. This is flowstone, and in front you have the rimstone pools. Rain or water was the architect of the cave, and then when the water evaporates, the mineral is left behind. That's what forms the formations.
This takes thousands and thousands of years to form, correct?
The formations grow approximately 1 cubic inch every 100 years. Watch your head.
Watch my head. Are these like baby stalactites?
They're baby stalactites, and they're hollow in the center. Once the center fills and they begin forming on the outside, then they're officially known as stalactites.
Coming in hot. Hey. This how you do it, Kelly?
Or you could just walk through.
Is this spelunking?
It's a form of spelunking. That way. Watch your head. Don't touch that.
Whew. Exit.
Don't touch that. Watch your head.
Okay, let's recap what you'll need to go hiking. Water is an essential. Bug spray, sunscreen, a map, a GPS, and always carry some food. A whistle for emergencies, a rain jacket, a first aid kit, and some TP for your business. What an amazing way to enjoy Florida's great outdoors. Exploring wildlife of all shapes and sizes and botanical beauties. If you want some exercise and get your zen on all at the same time, then there's nothing like hiking in Florida.
Hey, for more information on how to do Florida trails, go to our website at howtodoflorida.com.
Still to come, we're going charter boat fishing in Islamorada in search of the mighty swordfish.
Man, he's a strong, strong fish.
But first, Chef Justin rocks the kitchen with a succulent Florida recipe.
It's kind of a little interactive. You got to get in there, you got to use your hands, and that's the whole fun about it.
You're watching How to Do Florida. We'll be right back. If I can find Kelly. Hey, we're cooking garlic roasted rock shrimp, and it's gonna be good.
And I'm going to show you how to do it. All right, first thing we need to do, Chad, get our garlic roasted rock shrimp going, is have a nice hot pan.
Hot pan.
How's that feel?
It's there.
I think it's hot. We got all our ingredients here. Of course, we got our heroes, these nice rock shrimp.
Now, this is something that is not commonly served in seafood restaurants.
No, not really, but it needs to be because they are excellent. Little mini lobsters.
Little mini lobsters.
Yeah, got a little bit of nice butter here. Going in my hot pan. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and add these bad boys. Yum.
Hoorah.
Okay, while those are going, I'm gonna dice up just a little bit of garlic to go in there.
And so how long will these cook, Chef?
You know, really, they only take a few minutes, even with the shell on. They cook much faster than a regular shrimp would cook.
Okay.
Because of their small amount of meat in there.
What's the worst sin of cooking seafood that you taught me?
Overcooking seafood.
Overcooking.
Big no-no.
Because you can't back out of that.
All right, garlic's in there. I got a little of my favorite seafood seasoning. Just gonna sprinkle a little bit of this in here. Of course, a little sea salt and a little pepper.
Because we always...
Pre-seasoned. Let's give this a little toss, shall we?
There we go. Look at that snap, baby.
All right, that's going good. That's already smelling real good, huh?
It is smelling good.
I'm gonna go ahead and start making our zucchini and carrot slaw that's gonna go with this. It's gonna be nice, fresh, crisp, good side dish for this, okay?
And I want to keep an eye on our rock shrimp.
You're gonna be watching that. I got some julienne zucchini here. That's gonna give us some good texture and flavor and crispness. Same with my carrots, nice and julienne here. This is a real simple recipe.
And julienne.
Julienne.
pardon my ignorance. That's just how you cut it, right?
Yeah, it's just this nice fine little cut here. Little bitty straws. A little good olive oil. A little rice wine vinegar. Coarse salt. They're starting to turn red. Keep them working there.
Okay.
A little more seafood seasoning going in there. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside. Get a little lemon juice in here. Roll it on the board to loosen it up. Nice cut. My bowl back. Squeeze this in here. Yeah. Oh, thanks.
What are you doing,
Appreciate
man? What are you doing?
To your grandmother's apron? My bad.
This is not my grandmother's apron. This is my apron.
And then I got some fresh herbs that are going in here.
You like putting it in that ball.
I'm going to roll it in a ball. This helps me to cut it nice and easy. Nice fragrant herbs, smell good. Add that into my slaw. And since those are starting to look good, I'm going to go ahead and add my fresh herbs to this too. Parsley, basil.
They're starting to open up here too.
And we can add the rest of our liquid ingredients. I got a little bit of Worcestershire going in there. And of course some more lemon juice. So I got all my ingredients in my slaw. I'm going to go ahead and mix this up and get it nice and coated evenly. And I think we're about ready to serve.
Man, those look good, Chef.
All right, a little bit of our slaw here on the side. Okay, I got a couple pieces of grilled bread. It's gonna go great with this. A little fresh lemon with our seafood.
Beautiful, beautiful presentation, Chef.
There we have it.
Man, let's get in there.
Let's do it.
Let's get hands-on.
For this great fresh from Florida rock shrimp recipe and many more like it,
go to our website, howtodoflorida.com.
Coming up next on How to Do Florida, Chad connects with a sword in an epic battle of man versus fish.
This is a fish of a lifetime.
He's taking line out.
When How to Do Florida returns.
If you love water sports like I do, there's no place on earth like the Florida Keys. And if you love fishing, well, welcome to heaven. Islamorada in the Upper Keys is considered the sport fishing capital of the world. Hundreds of charter captains make Islamorada their home, and you can easily book a fishing trip with one of these expert guides. Getting to Islamorada is the easy part. Take the Florida Turnpike south and follow the signs that point to the Florida Keys.
There is probably no fish that swims in this hemisphere that cannot be caught from the shores of Islamorada, and it's a well-known fact that more IGFA world records have been captured in Islamorada than any destination on Earth.
We asked Captain Richard Stanzik of the world-famous Bud and Mary's Marina to show us everything we need to know about renting a charter boat. Can a family come out here and rent a charter boat and have a good time?
You know, Chad, absolutely. These boats are basically licensed for 6 passengers, and of course we do have multi-passenger boats as well. But you know, something really enjoyable about fishing, or sport fishing, is the fact that young children, mom and dad, grandpa, grandma, everybody can participate in this, and you know, it doesn't require any level of expertise.
But hold on now, you don't want to put grandma and the kids on just any old boat. You need to plan ahead and do some homework before you take that family trip. So what does somebody need to know, Richard, before renting a charter boat? What's some suggestions you have?
The number one suggestion is to go with an old established place, somebody who's been here a while. If you know people who can reference other people, in other words, they've been out with them before, and get a recommendation, that's going to help you as well.
What can they expect to catch?
You know, in Islamorada, something's biting all 365 days a year. Like in the winter, sailfish are definitely here from November right on through May. Come out in the summer, you're going to be looking for mahi-mahi or dorado. Up and down our reef line in the wintertime, we catch cobias, kingfish, yellowtails, mutton snappers, African pompanos, amberjacks. Just about anything you want to catch can be caught during that time of the year. And in the summer, further offshore, a lot of tunas and amberjacks around the humps. So everything's seasonal, but something's always biting.
On a trip like this, you never know what you're going to catch, from musclefish to small fry. And that keeps it exciting for every member of your family.
Whoa, nice fish, eh, Richard?
This is what it's all about, renting a charter boat here in Islamorada. Lots of fish. Look at that sucker.
There you go. Keep him high in the air like that now. Reel down, reel down, reel down. All right. Hey, that's a fatty. That's a nice fish.
I'm the fish whisperer, man. You just...
Actually, we're gonna... there you go.
After catching a few small fish, it was time to head out for deeper water, where I was hoping to tangle with the big boys. We'll be fishing 35 miles offshore in more than 1,700 feet of water for one of the most prized and respected fish swimming, Well, I'll let Captain Stanzik tell you what we're going after.
But you know, our main target today, we're going to be looking for the greatest fish of them all. We're going to be looking for the broadbill swordfish.
And on our last drop of the day, we finally connect with a sword.
Big fish coming to the surface, another mark coming in. This battle just
Man,
begun.
it's a strong, strong fish.
He just begun. This fish came up out of the cold, he was a bit stunned, and he saw the boat. Now he knows we're here. Now he's sitting in this warm water and he's getting his blood going. So the battle's going to be on.
With the help of Captain Stanzik and his crew, I'm able to keep this huge fish on the line. Just barely.
He's undoing everything I just done.
This is a fish of a lifetime.
He's taking line out.
Starting to angle up. Chad, you've had this fish on over an hour, and it is a big fish. It could approach 300, 350 pounds. It's a big fish.
The fish first surfaces, the mood on the boat takes a drastic change.
He's a monster, Scott. Slow down, Scott. Slow down, Scott. Get another gap. Get another gap, guys.
It's a big fish, guy.
It's a big fish. Easy, Scott. Easy, Scott. Hang on, guys.
Scott, he's going on new boat. He's going on new boat.
Back up, back up.
Scott, turn that way. Turn that way.
Fire still in him.
This is without a doubt the most exciting fishing adventure I've ever experienced. After a 2.5-hour battle and me almost throwing up twice, we were finally able to bring this massive swordfish to the side of the boat.
All right, guys. All right, hang on to him.
It's an absolute monster.
Chad,
Oh my gosh.
you're now officially one of the old men of the sea.
You know what, Richard? Now I get it.
You get it? Okay.
I get what the hype is about.
I'm glad you got it.
Fishing is all about.
Let's see if we can get this fish in the boat here now.
This fish is so big they can't get him to the door. Help, guys.
This has been a battle, guys. This has been a battle. All right. Son of a gun. What a fish. Look at this fish. He's an animal.
We just pulled a dinosaur out of the ocean. Absolutely amazing. Now, there's no guarantee you'll hook a swordfish, but your captain and crew will do everything in their power to make your fishing trip exciting and memorable. So let's see what we know about chartering a fishing boat. You'll want to book a well-known captain with an established charter company. Bring food and water, sunblock, protective clothing, and if you need it, sickness medicine, which I highly recommend. You've got to put Islamorada sport fishing on your must-do travel list. It's one of the most spectacular stretches of water on the globe, and it's right off Florida's coastline. And even if that big one gets away, Richard says be patient, he'll come up. I guarantee you and your family will have an experience that will be talked about for years to come. We caught all kinds of things today, but the granddaddy grand prize was a 440-pound broadbill swordfish. Islamorada. That's what it's all about right here. You're watching How to Do Florida. We'll be right back. Yeehaw! No matter where you are in Florida, you're always just a step away from another adventure. Well, I hope you've learned something new, but more importantly, I hope you feel encouraged to get out and do Florida.
For more info on this episode, go to howtodoflorida.com, where you'll find bonus how-to videos and all of Chef Justin's yummy recipes. And be sure to check out our Do Florida page, which is our giant list of events and activities all over the Sunshine State. Yeah, you should check it out.
I corral with a stick. Watch this. So when he's too far, I want him here. The shot is here, so he comes over here more. And when I want him to come close to me, it's 2 taps on the box. That brings me in. And then when he's too far, he's in my space, I push him away. Then I get on my nerves, I go snap. I need a better gig.
440.
440-pound ocean dinosaur. It's a bluegill lure right here. Panfish. Matt, don't lick the stalactite either. Good. Kelly, get me out of here. The show's over. Bye-bye. Kelly.
Don't touch that. Watch your head.
Yeah, right there. Oh, yeah, perfect. Yes.